lives in Belvedere, Kent with her husband Vem and 2-year-old daughter Lena. She's hoping to have a home birth very soon, as she's now 38 weeks pregnant. She has bad memories of her last birth experience with Lena, which was in another part of the country.
I had her in hospital. It was really, really quick and intense. I went from 1 centimetre to holding her in 2 hours and 20 minutes. I don't know at what point in there I dilated all the way. But yeah, it was really, really quick. I didn't get to see my midwife very much when I was there. They tried to send me home, and then they tried to put me in the postnatal ward, tried to send my husband home. It just wasn't a very good experience, and the aftercare was just appalling. I didn't realise that at the time, because with your first baby you sort of just think, oh well, this must just be the way it is. But they weren't very supportive with breastfeeding, and they didn't change my sheets the whole time I was there. They changed my daughter's sheets once because I asked. I didn't give her a fresh blanket the whole time she was there, and I was there for 3 days and 3 nights. And it just wasn't a very nice experience.
Having had such an unsatisfactory experience in hospital last time, Belle's determined to have a home birth with this baby. She ran into complications, however, when a blood test during an antenatal checkup revealed that she had higher than average glucose levels.
When I was about 34, 35 weeks, they rang me and said that I had to go for a glucose test. And I was sure it was going to come out fine, because I've got a history of diabetes in my family, and I've had symptoms of diabetes since I was 12. So I've had tests like once a year at least since I was 12, and they've never come out positive, and so I was like, that's fine, it'll come out negative.
The glucose test did turn out positive, and Belle was diagnosed as having gestational diabetes.
I had to have an appointment with the diabetes clinic, and I've got a glucometer, and I have to check my bloods 6 times a day, just before I eat and an hour after I eat.
Gestational diabetes can cause problems for both her and her baby. Belle's consultant from her local hospital declined an interview. Des Holden, a consultant obstetrician, explains what some of the problems with gestational diabetes can be.
Gestational diabetes is a condition where mum's sugar within her blood is higher than we would expect, and we would call it diabetic if it was above a certain threshold level defined by the World Health Organization. The reason that it's of any interest or importance is that babies are set up to suck lots of calories across the placenta. So if mum starts with a higher blood level of sugar, then the baby will suck all that available sugar across the placenta and runs the risk of being much bigger than it would normally expect to be, effectively being fatter than it would normally expect to be. And that would have problems both with actually being born, so a fatter baby doesn't fit as through the pelvis quite so well. But it would also have some problems in terms of the metabolism that that baby has got used to having. So if it's used to seeing very high sugars and then it's born, it will have a huge pancreas gland, it will be making lots of insulin, and it will be difficult to keep that baby's sugars up just by feeding it for a few days until it realises it's been born and it's not seeing such high levels of sugar.
In extreme cases, low blood sugar levels in a newborn baby can cause it to fall into a coma. It's essential to monitor the baby after birth, something Belle feels confident in doing.
The only way they treat it is to give it milk or glucose water, so as long as those, and they'd only want to monitor the baby for 24 hours, so as long as I stay up for 24 hours, or my husband with the baby, and if she starts to get jittery, because my daughter had low blood sugar after she was born as well, but I didn't have diabetes in that pregnancy, so it is still, you can still have it even if you haven't got diabetes. So I know what a baby looks like when they've got low blood sugar, so if I notice that, I can just give her a feed.
If the baby does seem to be having problems, it may need to be admitted to a neonatal unit where it can be helped with its feeding, so its blood sugars can be maintained at a normal level. Measures can also be taken to keep blood sugars down while still pregnant. Belle's been advised on this.
All I really have to do is try not to eat too much natural sugar. Like, it seems really strange, but actually, like Coke and stuff like that, if it's diet, if the sugar's not natural, it's fine because your body doesn't digest it properly. So, which I really hate putting artificial things into my body, but at the moment that's what I've got to do to keep my blood sugar down. So actually it's worse to have like a smoothie than it is to have a Diet Coke.
Despite being diagnosed with gestational diabetes, Belle has never faltered in her determination to have a home birth, even when told by her midwives that she would not be able to.
They did try to say, you know, you're not allowed to have a home birth, and it was the sort of allowed that really riled me up a bit, really, and made me quite angry. So I just wrote a letter to the head midwifery and said that I would go and see the doctor and I would find out why they wanted me to go to hospital, but if I didn't think that it was medically necessary for me and my baby, and unless anything changed, I was still going to have a home birth, and they needed to put everything into preparation for it because I was going to do it. And the letter helped a lot, I think.
Belle found support on a Yahoo email group, and conversing with others encouraged her to take action by writing a letter. There are now some organisations in the UK which give advice to women and their families when they're not receiving the support that they need during pregnancy, birth and postnatally. AIMS, the Association for Improvement in Maternity Services, is one such organisation and is run by Beverly Beach.
We've got a website and we have a telephone helpline, and we produce now a really big range of publications, all on the sort of current issues that will affect women. Primarily our objective is to help women get the kind of care that they want. So we will help them if they want to have a home birth or a water birth or whatever. And then the other side of what we do is we help women who have got complaints about their care and are not happy with the way that they were treated or with whatever happened. And then we will advise them on what avenues they can go down in order to resolve the problem they might have.
In Belle's case, she wasn't willing to accept that she was unable to have a home birth, and so challenged this view.
It was just a couple of midwives, I think, that were just trying to cover themselves, I think, and didn't really know what policy was on it, and just, I think they just thought that I would be like most women and say, oh, all right then, but because I, you know, had the sort of support stuff, I knew what my rights were, so it helped a lot.